Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maria. If you watch this video and you enjoy it, don't be shy, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for any future videos on narcissistic abuse recovery and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Today I have a video for you on trusting your gut. So if you've ever seen a coach or a therapist or had a really good friend sit down and listen to you talk about whatever is going on with you, and you ask their advice and they said to you, well, what does your gut tell you? Why don't you just trust your gut? It's the most annoying thing in the world, right? You just want to say, listen, just tell me what to do, right? It's a lot easier that way. Well, you know why that is? Because a lot of times after we have gone through long-term emotional abuse, a lot of times that comes along with things like manipulation and gaslighting. Gaslighting makes us question our reality. So a lot of times we come out of it upside down. We don't know what's right and what's wrong anymore, right? We lose our sense of reality, what we believe to be true. So a lot of times it's hard then for us to go back and trust our gut instinct. So if you're someone that struggles with CPTSD or complex post-traumatic stress disorder, then you understand things like a vicious inner critic. So that inner dialogue that's on a loop, like you're never going to get into a good relationship again. You're not going to accomplish anything. I'm not worthy of this. I am not smart enough. I sound stupid. So these things that are on this loop, we call this a vicious inner critic. So after long-term emotional abuse, a lot of times we're left with this vicious inner critic, okay? So something along those same lines is called the imposter syndrome. This, yet again, is another voice that we have inside that's telling us that we are not worthy of our own successes in life. Both the vicious inner critic voice and the imposter syndrome voice are outside voices that we picked up in life along the way. Another thing that we tend to have after long-term emotional abuse is something called toxic shame. So this means that we were shamed to the point in which we believed what the abuser told us about ourselves or what they alluded to and made us believe about ourselves, and we took that shame and we attached it to our identity, and we now believe that it is a part of who we are. Because of all of this, all of the noises that we have picked up along the way and the gaslighting, we tend to have a really hard time trusting ourselves when we make decisions about relationships, about job choices, right? Like, am I going to get into another relationship with somebody who is abusive? And we tend to stop trusting ourselves in this way. So what I want you to understand is, if we can go back to the basics and we can start reminding ourselves to trust our guts, we will realize that our gut or our gut instinct is going to be the thought before the imposter syndrome voice. It is going to be the thought before the vicious inner critic sets in, the thought before the toxic shame comes along. So just like when we are trying to reprogram our subconscious minds, when we have a vicious inner critic, and we need to change our subconscious mind to believe thoughts that are better than how we feel. All right, so that's going to look like we tell ourselves, of course I'm going to get married one day. Of course I'm going to have a successful relationship. My life is not over. I have the best years to come. I'm going to get that job and I'm going to be successful at it. I am going to get promoted this year. So we start changing these patterns in which we think, because, our subconscious mind is on this vicious inner critic loop, because that's what's safe. That's just what we've been doing for a long time. So our brain thinks it's safe, and that's the only reason it's doing this, right? So if we can start incorporating different kinds of thoughts into our mind, and this is work, right? This is healing work. This is the work of healing after emotional abuse. If we can add things into our vocabulary, into our inner vocabulary of words and thoughts that are better than how we feel, we can reprogram our subconscious mind. It's the same thing with our gut instinct. If we continue to remind ourselves to trust our gut, we can eventually start trusting the decisions that we make. Imagine being able to trust your thought process, like trust your decision-making process, and be confident in the decisions that you make on a daily basis. So if we want to incorporate this into our daily lives, what would you suggest? Well, it depends on what kind of learner you are. If you are a visual learner, then maybe get out some sticky notes and write trust your gut on these sticky notes. It's not strange for you to stick them on your refrigerator, on your computer screen at work, on your desk, on the sandwich in the refrigerator. If it is easier for you to hear information and then retain it in that way, maybe do a voice recording on your phone that is a pep talk that you press play the first thing you wake up in the morning, and you just give yourself a talk about, today I'm going to trust my gut. When I am confronted with such and such situation, I am going to go with my gut instinct. Or maybe you have something really big coming up at work, you have a big decision that you have to make soon in your life, and you want to do a voice recording on, before I make that decision, I am going to allow, myself to listen to this recording about trusting your gut. Regardless of how you do it, trusting your gut needs to be incorporated into your life. Maybe you need to hear yourself use that verbiage with other people. Maybe start when you talk to your friends and you have friends that ask you for advice, to start saying out loud to them, what does your gut tell you? Okay guys, thank you so much for watching my video today. If you enjoyed it, don't be shy, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for any future videos on narcissistic abuse recovery and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And as always, you guys, Happy New Year, and I wish you all the love